Hello Word, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Hello Word. I'm your host, Alex, and I'm thrilled to have you join me as we delve into the fascinating world of vocabulary. Today, our word of the day is bleed. It's a C1 level verb, and it means to lose blood from the body. Now, bleed as a verb is often associated with injuries or medical conditions, but it can also be used metaphorically. Think about a cut on your finger that starts to bleed. That's a very literal use of the word. It's a natural bodily process when a blood vessel is damaged. But we also use it when talking about resources being depleted. To understand bleed better, let's explore some synonyms. A close synonym for bleed is hemorrhage. This term is often used in medical contexts and suggests a significant loss of blood. For example, the patient was hemorrhaging after the accident. Another synonym, although less intense, is ooze. Ooze implies a slow, gradual leakage of fluid, including blood. The wound continued to ooze blood for several hours. Another synonym is seep. Seep is very similar to ooze, but can also be used in a metaphorical context, like the company's profits began to seep away due to poor management. We can also use the word drain as a synonym, especially when talking about a metaphorical loss of resources. For instance, the war drained the country's economy. Finally, let's consider exude, which can sometimes be used in a similar sense, especially when referring to a gradual release. The tree exuded sap where the branch had been cut. Now, let's switch gears and look at antonyms, words that have the opposite meaning of bleed. An antonym for bleed would be staunch. To staunch means to stop the flow of blood. The medic quickly staunched the bleeding from the soldier's arm. Another antonym is clot. Clot refers to the process by which blood thickens and forms a solid mass to stop bleeding. The blood began to clot, helping to heal the wound. Another antonym could be heal. The wound eventually healed, and the bleeding stopped completely. We can also think of close, as in closing a wound, as an antonym. The doctor closed the incision to prevent further bleeding. Or consider seal. The sealant sealed the blood vessels effectively. In everyday life, we use bleed in various contexts. For instance, you might say, I accidentally cut myself and started to bleed. Or, the company is bleeding money due to poor sales. You might hear someone say, he's bleeding confidence before the presentation. Or, my heart bleeds for the victims of the disaster, which means you feel great sympathy. A common expression is it's bleeding obvious, meaning it's very clear or apparent. Here's some more example sentences. The boxer's nose began to bleed after a hard punch. If the wound continues to bleed, seek medical attention. The company's constant spending is bleeding them dry. The dye bled into the white fabric, ruining the shirt. The radiator needs to be bled of air. Remember, bleed is a powerful word with both literal and figurative meanings. We use it to describe the loss of blood, but also the loss of resources, energy, or even confidence. It is important to notice the context. So, to recap, bleed is a C1 verb that means to lose blood from the body. Synonyms include hemorrhage, ooze, seep, drain, and exude. Antonyms include staunch, clot, heal, close, and seal. We use it in everyday conversations to describe physical injuries or metaphorical losses. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hello Word. I hope you found today's exploration of the word bleed helpful and informative. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your support helps others discover our show and learn new words. Now, for your challenge, create your own sentence using the word bleed and share it as a comment below this episode. I'm excited to see what you come up with. Until next time, keep learning and keep exploring the wonderful world of words.